Good evening. I am back. I am so sorry it took so long. It's been very hectic, but I am here with Mythomorphia by Kerby Rosanes, and I will show you what I've been doing and how I've been doing things. So I'm hoping you can see this. What I've been doing here. I used ink tints for kind of like an aurora night sky. Let's see if you can see that a little bit here, how that works. And I use some white Posca. I'm going to fill in some shooting stars. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I don't know if you can see some things here. I actually working. Okay, there you go. I wasn't that prepared, but that's me. Just gonna put some little things on there. This afternoon I worked with the trees, and I did this side, and I did that side. Now I'm playing around, oh, I can finish that later, with Kuretake Gansai paints, and this is how I got a little bit of a mess going here. How it looked. It's a little bit grayed out, but it kind of gives it an opaque look to make it look like snow. However, when I played around with the consistency with it, try not to use too much water if you're going to do this. How I did it, I used my little palette thing here. Let me go. Here, okay. I used that today, and I used my dropper. All it is water. I feel this controls it a lot better than a water brush. You're going to get more pigment if you use ink tints and with a different brush, and I will explain that a little bit. As far as this side is concerned, what I did is I put in drops of water in each one to these beauties right here. Like I said, these are the Gansai. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. And this was opened up. And I used the white, which is right there. Okay. And combination of brushes. I've had these for years, and I'm finally using them. Number 5 and a number 10 brush. You can see how these look. It's got a little bit more of a pointed tip. There's more firmness on the number 10, and there's more of an angle on number 5. So what I did is I put 1 drop of water in there, and I mixed it about so that it was thick. because when it's a little on the thick side, what you can do is that you're going to put it like that right on top of there and just smooth it in the area that you want, like in the grooves of the trees where there's supposed to be dimension. So that's what I was playing around with this afternoon. The purpose of this video tonight was not only to show what I did there, but to show another alternative that I had with creating snow on trees is acrylic paint. This is titanium white basics from Liquitex that I have, and I thought this would be really cool. I'm not going to thin it out. I'm going to try very little, and I'm going to use that in here. So let's see if I can get this closer. There. Okay, that's good. Hope people can see that. So I've used this before in a coloring book for snow drifts. This is permanent, water resistant, and flexible when dry. Oops, wrong way. So I'm just gonna shake it up just a little. Okay, and I'm sure it's gonna come out. Gotta love the smell of paint, right? So I'm just gonna put in very little there. Yeah. There. And you don't need much at all. So now I'm gonna use the number 5 brush and go through over here and just go very, very light with the brush. If you can see, or there. You can't see, Julie. Okay, so okay. What I'm going to do here is go right up in there. And then it's going to be too much. I'm pretty sure it's going to be too much. But where am I? How come you can't see? Okay, here we go. I'm wondering why you couldn't see what I was doing. So just a little bit. I'm just going to dab it on the areas that might be a little too much. That depends on how much or how little you want to do. See, that's what I'm doing on this one. Just gonna be very random. Doesn't have to be special. Okay. You can go into the grooves of the leaves on a tree too. So that's what that looks like right there. What I'm working on here. There we go. That's better. Now you can see. I'm still learning how to use camera angles and stuff. I'm definitely not a professional, but it's still fun to do. So anyway, I'm still using that much. So. And then go right and dab some on here. I think maybe the best way, well, there probably is no best way to have, is to play around, you know, see what works for you, different angles, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm putting in the paint in the shadow areas, because I think that would look good. You know, it doesn't have to be too white or too gray, that kind of thing. Yeah. So you can kind of see how that tree looks there. And you can kind of mix and match and see how that looks. Now that's a close-up, mind you. So you're gonna go down again. You're gonna see how that looks. Or in the back, like that. Yeah. Now that you can also see the difference on that side with the Gansai. I think these are more that you can layer these, because you can keep going. You can also use a thickness to it, because I found out that with the Kuretake, you can water those down and use it at I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, the gouache. And when you do that, it allows you to create more over it, which is pretty cool, because when I used a pencil over it, the water effect, believe it or not, went onto the pencil, and the pencil got wet like a watercolor. I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm gonna just kind of play around with that a little bit. Show you how I do that. You know, just do a little more. On the sides here. I hope people can hear me. So I'm sure they can. I'm still working. So I don't want to put snow too much on the bottom. Like maybe a little gray marker there. And then depending on how much you want to use too. See how that looks. I don't know if everybody could see what I'm doing there. There we go. I just wanted to take a little extra time to actually show what I'm doing. Again, because I know in other videos people do that, but I'm sure uploading takes a little bit longer too. So I'm just gonna dab that on there. Now I think I'm liking the acrylic a lot better. So that's definitely going to be used farther down on the page for more snow. So I'm just going to dab more on there. I like how this is working out, so not sure if I want to do too much. I mean, you get the idea. I don't want to bore you too much, but I don't receive comments, but I know people are watching. I know I mentioned that once before. But, so what I did do, if anyone's interested, I did update my blog, because I accidentally deleted my other one and I lost my links for my resources and my research, which was important to me because I do genealogy as well, and I had all my Polish stuff on there. But I got it back, luckily, so I'm happy about that. And if you're interested in that blog, if I don't, I will add that link on my profile. So I don't just do coloring, I do digital art. I'm self-taught. I do sig tags. I'm trying to get back into it, but my computer is really bad right now. Oh, laptop, I should say. It's got a dead battery, and I can't afford to get it fixed right now, or even to buy a new one. So maybe I can save up some money to do that. Because I'm old school. What I use a program called Paint Shop Pro, and it's version number 9. No, I'm sorry, 8. And you can't use the plugins on the actual drive because there's too much space. So for years I've been using the external drives on top of that to save space. So I think that's working out really good on that. Maybe do a little bit more dabbing here. I think you get better control using a brush. Kind of use it like a stipple. Just kind of mark it down a little bit. If you think you got too much on the brush, you can kind of fan it out to different areas and just kind of work that way. So, and let's do just a little bit more on the edges here. And like I said, it's not really too fancy, but you can kind of see what I'm doing and what the kind of effect I would like to have. Like I mentioned in a previous video, we all have our techniques, willing to learn new techniques too. I think that's what makes coloring so much fun, you know, and enjoying what other people have to offer. I want to make sure I watch my time on that. So I did those trees. You can see how those look. Get a little bit of a close up there. You can see those on that. I think that looks pretty good. So eventually I'll come back with another video on my progress on this. But you can see below there's a lot more snow on here. So what I want to do eventually is try to get some of this in the different highs, like with the cliffs, and then in the lows. I wasn't sure how I was going to approach that, but I just kind of outlined it with blue to, you know, and just left the other part white. And so I maybe just color the white with white. I don't know how that would look, but it's another option. And eventually go into the darker areas here, like with a cave, because you know you got the bird over it to make it look like a bevel, that kind of thing. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little more to this side with on top of the watercolor and the Gansai, the Kuretake ones. And I think I want to go up with that. Yeah, let's see how that looks. you get an idea how that's looking on top of it. And it probably adds a little more dimension on there. So, a little hard to tell. And then we'll find out when it dries. So, if it has the same effect as the other one on top. If anything, make it look a little bit more snowy. Oh, there you go. It probably does. Cool. I'm just gonna do a little more here. And then no charge for the loud vehicles outside. Alright. Okay, I get the idea how that one looks with more on there. So, I will do another video with more progress. This is definitely a project, that's for sure. Okay, I don't know if I forgot anything. I'm still using the Castle Arts pencils. These are the soft touch. And then I used a white Posca. This is the real thin one, PC1. I'm going to finish doing that with some little things in the sky. So, I hope I'm not forgetting something. Probably not. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you get some joy out of this like I have. So, okay, bye-bye.